Hey everyone, it's Summer with AstariaSen, and it's another Witchy Wisdoms Wednesdays where me and 6 other channels participate in talking about a theme for the week. And we do this every single Wednesday. I do believe we have something like over 40 videos in our playlist, which you will be able to find at the end of this video. So you can find everybody's takes on the different themes we've had throughout the last couple of months. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're coming back to see me, thanks so much for coming to see me. Today's topic is mirror magic, mirror spells, that kind of theme. And we are going to talk about on my channel why I don't do mirror magic. So we'll be right back. All right, mirror magic. Mirrors have always caused a problem for me ever since I was a little girl. I remember, I don't know, I must have been in maybe 2nd or 3rd grade. And I used to I had a giant dresser. It had like 4 drawers on it, but it was a really long dresser and it had this giant mirror over the top of it. And I used to cover it with towels when I went to sleep at night. And I can't tell you why. I don't know why I did it. They just scared me so much. I thought something was going to come through the mirror at me and get me. And we had a bathroom that was right next to my bedroom because where I lived in a 2-story home, and us kids, 4 of us, we basically had all of our rooms and our play area downstairs. So anyways, the bathroom was literally one whole wall was nothing but mirrors. And I used to hate taking a shower in that bathroom or even a bath. I despised it. Because of all the mirrors, they creeped me out so much. I understand using a mirror for self-reflection, and I understand that, mirrors can be helpful and that there's not always negative things about mirrors. For example, there is I think it's called the Varishitiya or something like that. It's a Hindu thing. Oh, I know what it is. It's the Navratri. And it's a 9-day celebration in Hindu, or, Hinduism, that where they celebrate certain things. One of them is like on the 7th day of this celebration is the Durga, I think you pronounce it Durga, but Durga is a goddess, and she is a goddess who needs to be allowed to go back to where she came from, and they use a mirror to do that. And they submerge the mirror in water, or sometimes even the idols, like the goddess idols of her, in water to help her go back to where she came from. And with the mirror, when they submerge it in water, they have to angle the mirror so that the goddess statue or goddess figurine or whatever is looking into the mirror so that she can return to wherever she came from. So I know that not all mirror stuff is bad. However, it does not outweigh the cons for me. I don't do ghosts and spirits and demons, and those things terrify me. Terrify me to an extent that I can't sleep with a mirror in my room. I can't sleep with reflective surfaces. I can't even take a shower by myself. Strangely enough, it's a fear for me, a real fear, and I don't do it. I do remember probably Bloody Mary when I was in like 7th grade. I never did it. My friends did it, and it scared the crap out of me, so I was not going to do it. There was no way anybody was putting me in that bathroom to get me to do it. So I have a genuine fear of mirrors, and I don't do magic with them, partially because of that fear, but also partially because the folklore that goes around a lot of mirrors that I've read about, it's talking about, they talk about the soul a lot. Vampires aren't supposed to be seen in the mirror because they don't have a soul. And it used to be believed that your soul regenerated every 7 years. So if you broke a mirror, that was why 7 years bad luck. And they believed that your soul was reflected in a mirror. And Chinese, they didn't break, if parts of the mirror were broken, then it was also parts of your soul that was broken. So they used to do a lot of things to keep people from their soul being trapped inside a mirror, including covering them then when people went to sleep. Also covering them or being buried with them with mirrors when they die, depending on if they wanted to trap somebody's soul, like a bad person's soul, they might bury the mirror with them. And then there's also the idea that if you put two mirrors like this towards each other, and I don't really know how far apart they are, but it becomes a portal for spirits and demons and entities to travel back and forth through, and one might actually get caught in your home or want to stay in your home. And I have zero desire for that to happen, like zero. I do not do scrying either. If I was going to scry, I'd probably scry more with water than I would a mirror. I just don't like mirrors at all. I get a lot of aspects of wanting to use mirrors and reflective surfaces for different kinds of things, especially for seeing certain things. They used to have it to where a woman could brush her hair a certain way out of her, like her left shoulder or something like that, while she was eating in front of a mirror, and she'd be able to see her future husband. There is lots of negative folklore that comes with mirrors that far outweigh the more positive ones that I've found, and I think that that's why it just keeps me from doing any kind of mirror magic at all. I have a mirror in my bathroom, and that's about the only thing I ever use, is just the mirror in the bathroom. I do have a mirror in my living room, and it is very huge, and I don't like it, but it's not my mirror. It's my significant other's mirror, and it's his great-great-great-grandmother's mirror, and yeah, there's creep factor there for me, but I let it be because there's nothing I can really do about it. I don't sit out in the living room with the mirror by myself. I don't look into the mirror. I'm really short and he has it up really high. I'm not kidding. Like, I can't even see myself in the mirror, so I'm okay with it. Really, I am. But I don't want to encourage entities I am not willing to mingle with to come into my home. I do believe mirrors have a portal aspect to them. I do not believe that it goes to any kind of fairy world. And as a matter of fact, I did look to see if there was any kind of mirror stuff related to the Fae, and the only thing I found was like Mirror Lake in a certain place where fairies can see the reflections and stuff like that, and it kind of goes along with like Avalon and stuff like that. So that's about the only thing I really found fairy-wise that was mirror related. There is one thing that I do actually find very interesting about mirrors, is the aspect of what you can do with them. Now, hear me out for a second. I watched a video a while back. This was a long while back. I was working on my garden and stuff like that, and I was trying to find different aspects I could put into my garden, and different ways to make it look enchanted and those kinds of things. And somebody had used a mirror to make it look enchanted, and it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And I could use a mirror that way. I think I could, because I'm not walking out at night towards the mirror and stuff like that, and I don't feel like it's invading my home. Like, whatever comes through the mirror isn't going to be invading my home. However, it might be getting to my garden, and I don't know. Could it possibly be that if I had the intent, and this is just theory here, if I had the intent that it can only be used for the garden, and only things that are welcoming to my garden could use the mirror? I mean, is it possible that I could use the mirror that way? Maybe. Do I want to? I don't know if I'm willing to try that just because of my fear. But it was really beautiful. Having an enchanted mirror in a garden is so beautiful. It really, really is. I do find mirrors beauty. There is so much beauty in them. But I also find their falseness as well. Mirrors can deceive you, and your brain can deceive you as well. People who sit in front of mirrors like in dim light and stuff like that, your brain gets bored just staring at yourself and it starts making up things. And this, you know, there's science that goes with it, I'm sure. And I know that your brain can, they say that your reflection that you see isn't an exact reflection of what people see of you, because your brain is mixing past and present to give your reflection, because your brain fills in all the things that you think are supposed to be there. And you do this in anything. It doesn't have to be your reflection. It could be in reading. If you're reading, you can read over words that aren't supposed to be there or are spelled different and still know what it's supposed to be, because your brain fills it in for you. So it makes sense that your brain would do the same thing in a reflective surface with yourself. And your brain getting bored, your brain can do so many wonderful things. They don't even know half of it, right? So I believe that, yeah, your brain can probably fill some things in for you to entertain you. And maybe not in the best ways, depending on how you're using that mirror. But no, I can't use mirrors in my craft, and I can't use mirrors with my fae, really. It's just, it really isn't my thing. I understand concepts of it. I understand why somebody would want to use mirrors for scrying or magic, and I do find them very beautiful. Mirrors can be so, so beautiful, so elegant, so enchanting, but the spirits involved and the negative connotations that I bring to a mirror, just me, myself, other people may not bring that, and that might be fine for them. But because I can bring that, because I have that baggage, it makes me working with mirrors not a feasible option. So if you work with mirrors, I'd love to know the different ways you work with mirrors and why. Hey, and do you have a mirror in your garden? Did you ever think about putting a mirror in your garden? How did it work out for you? I don't think I ever will put a mirror out in my garden, or really anywhere other than my bathroom. So I'll probably just leave it at that. So I hope you guys have a very great day, and see you guys again in a few days.